The girl's voice stopped me cold. "Don't go inside," she whispered. "Trouble is waiting for you." Just an hour earlier, I had been floating on air. Nyara Vance stood by the office window, watching rain streak down the glass as Charlotte's skyline faded into dusk. 7 years. 7 years of late nights, unpaid overtime, and swallowed frustration. Now it had finally happened. Sterling Montgomery, the CEO himself, had shaken her hand and promoted her to chief accountant, with a salary increase so large it made her hands tremble. I share new life stories here every day, and I would really appreciate it. If you hit subscribe and liked my video. Now let's jump back into my story. I'm sure you love it if you keep listening till the end and tell me from which part of the world you are watching this story. I am interested to know how far away this story traveled. $30,000 more a year. It meant stability. It meant Nyla STEM camps. Her mother's heart medication. No more counting pennies at the grocery store. Nyara packed her bag with a smile she couldn't hide, already planning how she'd surprise her husband Dontrell. But something felt off. Harrison Thorne, her supervisor, congratulated her with a smile that never reached his eyes. His words were polite but distant, almost cold. Nyara brushed it aside. Today was too important to let shadows creep in. She skipped the bus and walked home through the drizzle, her thoughts racing ahead of her. Maybe dinner out. Maybe laughter again. Dontrell had been distant lately, always glued to his laptop, but surely this news would bring them back together. When Nyara reached her apartment building, that's when the girl appeared. She couldn't have been more than 10 mismatched sweater, wild hair, eyes far to knowing. She grabbed Nyara's sleeve with surprising strength. "Don't go in," the girl pleaded. "Just wait. 5 minutes." Nyara wanted to laugh it off. Street tricks. Superstition. Yet her feet refused to move. A chill slid down her spine. Reluctantly, she stepped behind the brick corner of the building, telling herself she'd wait only a moment. That's when the door opened. Dontrell walked out first, her husband smiling wider than she'd seen in months. At his side was a young woman in a red coat, her arm tucked comfortably into his. And behind them came Harrison Thorne. Nyara's heart slammed against her ribs. They stopped near the stoop, unaware she was listening. "Monday morning," Thorne said calmly, "I present the evidence. Forged reports, embezzlement. She won't have time to fight it." Nyara's breath caught. "She'll be fired by lunch," Thorne continued. "And once her reputation is ruined, the position opens up." "For me," Dontrell said. Nyara's world tilted. "And custody?" The woman Sloane asked. "No judge gives a child to an unemployed criminal," Thorne replied. "You'll get Nyla." Nyara clamped her hand over her mouth as her husband kissed the other woman's cheek. They were planning to destroy her life, her career, her name, her child. Her phone trembled in her hand as she secretly recorded everything. 32 minutes of betrayal. That night, Nyara cooked dinner, kissed her daughter, and lay beside her husband as he slept wide awake, staring at the ceiling. By morning, she knew one thing for certain. If they wanted war, she would be ready. Nyara did not scream. She did not confront him. She survived. The next morning, she took Nyla to her mother's house, claiming it was just a weekend visit. Only when the door closed did Nyara finally break, pouring out the truth, every whispered word, every recorded threat. Her mother didn't hesitate. She handed her a business card. Keziah Brooks, attorney. By Monday morning, Nyara walked into Keziah's office armed with evidence and resolve. The recording changed everything. Instead of walking into her boss's trap, Nyara walked straight into the Office of Corporate Security. Curtis Blackwell listened in silence as the audio played. By Wednesday, the plan collapsed. Harrison Thorne was fired and arrested for fraud. The forged documents unraveled under forensic review. Dontrell was terminated for conspiracy. Sloane vanished from the company overnight. Nyara, meanwhile, was officially installed as chief accountant with an additional raise and a formal apology from the CEO. But the final battle waited in family court. Dontrell sat across from her, pale and furious, as the judge listened to the full recording. Every lie, every plan, every intention to steal a child from her mother. When Sloane burst into the courtroom screaming, security dragged her out. The judge didn't hesitate. Full custody to Nyara, supervised visitation only. Divorce granted. Apartment vacated. Dontrell had nothing left. Months later, spring warmed the city. Nyla laughed again. Their home felt peaceful. The nightmare had passed. One afternoon, Nyara spotted the warning girl standing near the stoop once more. Everything better now? The child asked. Nyara smiled through tears. Because of you. The girl nodded and disappeared down the street, just as mysteriously as she had appeared. That night, Nyara stood on her balcony, lights glowing beneath her, her daughter safe inside. She had been warned. She had listened. And because she did, she had one. Sometimes fate whispers. And sometimes listening saves your life. Thanks for watching till end. Please like and subscribe my channel. I will be very thankful to you. Sometimes life takes turns we never expect. Every person in this story carried their own pain, their own choices, and their own consequences. Maybe you saw yourself in one of them, or maybe it reminded you of someone you once knew. What do you think happened next? What would you have done if you were in their place? If you have any questions about what happened to the other characters, or if you want me to share more about them, just comment below. I read every message you leave, and your thoughts truly mean a lot to me. And if this story touched your heart, inspired you, or even made you think differently, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It helps me keep sharing stories that move people, open minds. And remind us we're all human. At the end of the day, your support keeps these stories alive. Thank you for watching, for feeling, and for being part of this journey. More powerful stories are coming soon. Stay tuned and stay kind.